Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is a Q&A episode, so we can get right down to it. Benjamin from Hong Kong has got a list of questions here. Is the skull of Daspletosaurus V-shaped or very robust? Well, going through this question, I looked at the skull. I looked at basically pictures of some of the actual specimens that are displayed in the museums. It looks like Daspletosaurus has more robust type of skull, and so Tyrannosaurus, when you actually look at how they're actually kind of built, Tyrannosaurs actually kind of start having like this U-shaped snout, and so instead of the V-shaped snout that we see in modern and like other types of theropod dinosaurs, and so that is actually a clue as what kind of type of eating habits these dinosaurs are actually going to have. If you look at most Saurosaurs that are carnivorous, you kind of see they have a U-shaped, mostly U-shaped type of snout, whereas but there's some dromaeosaurs that still actually have the V-shape type of skull. But most carnivorous Saurosaurs actually have the U-shaped type of snout, and Daspletosaurus kind of has a little bit more of a stronger bite than most other meat-eating dinosaurs around that particular part of time, which is early Cretaceous in the east coast of the United States. And so that actually gives an idea of what kind of animal it actually really is. Is that it's going to use a very powerful bite, not as strong as T-Rex and some of the other later Tyrannosaurs, but it is actually still going to be a very powerful bite. Second question is Daspletosaurus as rare as Torvosaurus? No. There's many more specimens of Daspletosaurus that have been found. Daspletosaurus turosus is actually the more common type of species of Daspletosaurus, and then you actually have the recently named Daspletosaurus horneri, and that actually is kind of like a new type of species of Daspletosaurus. But there's more specimens of Daspletosaurus out there than there are Torvosaurus. Torvosaurus is much rarer than Daspletosaurus. Third question is Brachiosaurus the largest sauropod ever? First of all, I actually looked this up, and Brachiosaurus does not exist. So this dinosaur is completely lost in science, but mainly it's because, mostly it's probably because is that this dinosaur never existed. It's probably because some paleontologists have actually found like some parts of bones, and they actually thought like, oh, it's a new species, and we call it Brachiosaurus. But the thing is that there is no evidence that there's not even any of the fossils that are still out there yet. They're lost. They're gone. And so, but I still question the validity of this dinosaur because it's actually not really a type of specimen that is kind of actually considered as valid. And so Patagotitan and Amphicoelus is still considered to be the largest sauropods. And so pretty much Brachiotitan is not a valid species anymore. And how powerful is the bite of Torvosaurus? It is not going to be very strong, considering that the teeth of Torvosaurus, like this one right here, you can see have very thin teeth, and so they actually are not going to have a very strong bite. So they're probably going to have a bite force that is probably lower than 600 pounds. So they're not going to have a very strong bite. So they probably have a bite force that is kind of similar to some dogs that have the strongest bite force. And so that actually might answer the question, is like why on earth would Torvosaurus have a very weak bite? It's because it's very thin. It's got teeth that are not designed to have a very powerful bite. And then along with that, in your final question, and does Torvosaurus have thick teeth or very thin blade-like teeth? Well, like I said before, here's the answer to the question. Thin. And so here's a Tyrannosaurus rex tooth in comparison. You can see Torvosaurus right here in my right hand is very thin compared to Tyrannosaurus rex. And so Torvosaurus is actually going to be doing slashing bites, very much the slicing and dicing. They're not going to be able to go through bone, because you see, if this tooth was actually going to be designed to go through bone, it would actually have to have the design of Tyrannosaurus rex right here. And so Tyrannosaurus rex is more designed for crushing bone, and most other large tyrannosaurs like Torvosaurus, Zooxantheranus, Daspletosaurus, those types of dinosaurs, those types of Tyrannosaurs would actually have strong bites, including Tyrannosaurus rex. But Torvosaurus would not have a very strong bite. Like I said before, probably had a lower than 600-pound bite, so it's probably not going to have a very strong bite. And so it is actually going to be doing slashing wounds, not like big puncture wounds. And so their prey is mainly going to be the large sauropods of the Jurassic, whereas Tyrannosaurus rex is going after dinosaurs that are actually its own body weight, and so that it would probably actually be going after the dinosaurs that have very thick muscle and skin, and also armored dinosaurs, so Triceratops, Hadrosaurs, Ankylosaurs, those types of dinosaurs. Whereas Torvosaurus is going after dinosaurs that are a bit larger than itself and a tad bit smaller than itself. And so that would actually be the answer of what kind of dinosaurs Torvosaurus is actually going after, because Torvosaurus lived in the late Jurassic, whereas Tyrannosaurus rex lived in the late Cretaceous. And so that answers your question. Alright, now next week would actually be a special episode. And so it will be a book review. I actually got the brand new book of Steve Brissat's book, The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs. I actually just started beginning on this book, and so far it's actually starting to look like a very good read. And so once I finish this book, it'll probably by next week Friday I will actually be able to get this episode going, and so it'll be a review on this book. And so I'll let you know what I think of this, and we'll go on from there. And so like I said, it'll be an extra episode, a book review episode of Prehistoric Facts Extra. So it's the first extra episode I've done in a while, and so hey, need to get some of those extra episodes done anyway. But you can still send me questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you can actually post your questions in the comment section or on the wall on the Facebook page. But remember, keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSJRL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of the people around you, and also for younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and guardians. It's the best motivation you can have for good education. It's very important to have good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. All right, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.